Zebec Nation Podcast. It's your boy. I am here, Mr. Foresight from Grow Rich, Grow Happy. Those of you that follow me, you already know what time it is. We're about to drop that message for the day. The message for the day is information. Information is not what changes lives. Perception does. I'm going to give you a really good example. Being that we're on the Zebec Nation Podcast, let's use ZBCN. ZBCN is a great opportunity. We all know that. Hell, look where I'm at. But let's just say person A and person B come upon ZBCN. They got the same opportunity to look at the token contract, look at the connections. Not only that, look at what its intended purpose is, which is to not only change lives, but to stream payroll 24/7, something that no one has heard of. But for some reason, they both don't see it the same way. Person A sees it as an opportunity, so much, in fact, that they back the truck up to it and they say, I'm getting in this just based on the things I've seen with my own eyes and the connections. And not only that, they got a great community. Hell, they even got a podcast. So, but person B, they don't see it as the same way. They see it as risky. Hell, it's not Bitcoin. It's not XRP. It's none of those names they've heard of before. Yeah, it sounds good, but what if it's not true? What if it doesn't happen? What if it's a rug pull? What if, just what if, it is a meme coin? So what they do, they sit on the side and they wait. They say, I need a little bit more information. I need to hear a little bit more. Let's wait a couple of months. Let's let them get a few more notches under their belt. Then maybe I'll get in. Year later, person B, they ended up not getting in. They ended up passing on the opportunity, and Zebec went to 50 cents, and person A, the one who took that information just like person B did, but they saw it as an opportunity, and their perception was different. They're the ones whose lives was changed, not person B. So my message to you guys is, we all have the same information available to us, but it is up to us to take that information and ask ourselves, what are we going to do with it? But I'm telling you something, and you guys know this. If you don't work on yourself and work on your inner self and how you perceive the world, then you're not going to see opportunities as opportunities. You're going to see them as risk. And as long as you continue to see every opportunity that cross your path as a risk, then you'll never get the reward. Guys, I can't wait to hang out with you. This your boy. I'm out.
Turn it up. Zebec Nation.
Zebec Nation, tap in, lock in. I'm on deck, all signal, no distortion. Hot news, breaking cultural thought it. From protocol to the population compliance coordinated. Talk fast, think faster, headlines, LNA builders, whales inside us. Resonate, no filler, no filter, no scripted fabrication. Real-time execution, verified information. Payroll to power, global circulation. Deep dives, lifelines, market calibration.
Zebec.
Nation.
You want the pulse?
You're tuned in.
Zebec Nation.
Welcome to the Zebec Nation podcast, your home for everything Zebec Network, ZBCN, crypto news, and whatever the hell else we want to talk about. I'm your host, ZBCN Man. And before I get to my other host tonight, if you could, if this is your first time watching us, thank you for watching us. Please, please, please hit that subscribe button. Leave us a comment because it helps the algorithm. And share this with your friends. And we'll get more to sharing later on because I think it will benefit everyone if they share this video. We'll get into that later, though. So let's go. Let's introduce who's with us tonight. Starting first, we've got Patriot Party with us. What's up, bro?
What's going on?
I got Zebec Samurai in the house. He's back after a hiatus last week.
What's up?
Lobbing Lantern's with us as well. He's our non-conspiracy correspondent. Heavy hitter 360s in the house as
Yo,
well.
what's good?
And bringing the alpha at 2 a.m. and whatever time he wants to in my DMs. 314 Crypto. What's up, bro? Back
Let's
with us.
go. Let's go. Happy to be here.
And last but not least, you know him from YouTube. He's always following the breadcrumbs. He's one of my favorites. He's one of your favorites. Mr. Foresight, what's going on, brother?
Appreciate it. I appreciate it. Bro Rich, so
Yes.
happy. I'm
Let's
here.
go. Let's go.
All the Bro Rich,
Legend.
so happy team. Subscribe
go.
to the channel. Smash that like button.
Hey, man, appreciate that intro you did for us. Phenomenal. It's such a pleasure having you with us, and we've got so many incredible people that's a part of the Zebec Nation, and you're one of us. You're part of Zebec Nation too. So again, thank you very much.
That. I appreciate that.
Just getting started. I mean, we got a lot going on this past week. There was some incredible news for Zebec Network that we'll get into as well. And so many great things are happening in crypto. We're so close to so many things, I believe, that are going to really flip the switch, so to speak, when it comes to all these utility coins. But we've got a little bit of geopolitical things going on with war and things like that. And so, Patriot Party, what are your thoughts on just how that may affect the markets?
Well, I always say it's always darkest before the light. So with war, there's a lot of confusion, and that creates confusion in the markets. What you'll see is you'll see oil go up, you'll see precious metals go up, you'll see it can have a major effect on crypto. But what's most important in that fog of war is to just educate yourself, do your own research, know what you hold, so through the darkness you can stand firm and you can feel confident and accumulate.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. I think he hit it all on the head there for sure. And we are in a tough time right now, but we will see the light of day. There's no doubt about that because we do know what we hold, and we hold some incredible utility tokens. That's for sure. Anyone else have any thoughts on that? What's going on?
Yeah, man.
right.
It's just a time right now where everybody's just questioning, what to do. Regarding holding assets, what assets to hold, if they should sell. And I just think that right now, like kind of what you just said, everybody should definitely look at what it is that they hold, research, and study everything that they need so they can come out on top. These markets right now is, of course, put into place so that you can stay fearful, so you miss out on this generational wealth journey. So I'm just excited to be here with you guys, and let's go.
Let's
I
go.
want to
Let's go.
piggyback
Let's
on
go.
that too. I want to piggyback on that as well. I believe also that with what's going on now, I mean, you can't open your phone without seeing some type of headline, whether it's on Instagram, X, anywhere you go, you're seeing a headline on this. I think it's important for people to not get so distracted by it that you forget the things like staying consistent and continuing to do the research and keep following the breadcrumbs and don't get so caught up in the news because all of it is a distraction.
Yeah. It's meant to be a distraction. What were you gonna say?
I was saying 100%, always a distraction. They want you looking one direction while things are going on the other. War going on. Could there be financial systems changing while everybody's focusing on war?
Also, it's important not to feel hopeless right now, especially when you look at your investing accounts and see everything down and seeing prices go up. As long as you don't feel hopeless, just, get centered. Say, what can I do about this? You can't control this, what's going on. But what you can do, you can look at it from a different perspective and say, you know what? I'm going to take advantage of what's going on. And I'm going to continue to dollar cost average and get the things that I know is going to bless me and my family in the long run.
I think it's all about having your eyes on the prize at the end of the day, long-term planning. I mean, none of these markets really matter right now because we know what's going to be happening in the future.
Agreed.
Yeah, and if you have conviction in any projects, now's the time to buy them. You buy when it's red, and it's been red a while, so there's been plenty of time to buy into these projects.
It is an amazing time to get in to Zebec right now.
Not financial advice, of course.
It's amazing how we hear this, though. You always know buy when everybody else is fearful, sell when everybody else is greedy, but no one actually, a lot of people don't do it. But we know it. We know it's to be true.
It's such a simple formula.
Yeah, it's simple.
So simple, man. But the hardest thing is when you sell, when to sell. And
Yeah.
can't wait for that moment. That's for sure. That's
Everybody should have their price. Everybody should have their number.
Oh, absolutely. Hey, so Zebec United has joined us. He's been traveling around the world. What's going on, Devin?
Hey, how's it going, guys? Thanks for having me on.
What's going
Great,
on?
great, man. Hey, so I'm gonna pick on you since you just came on. That cool?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, man. So this past week, Tandem and Zebec, they posted something. They talked about some stuff that was going to go on during a Bundesliga match. Tell us more about that. And my question is, how many people does that actually reach when it comes to this advertising?
So let's put it this way. You look at across Europe, they have different leagues for the different countries around the continent. And so in Germany, you have the Bundesliga. The two biggest teams in Germany are Bayern Munich and Borussia Dortmund. They played a rivalry that's actually called Der Klassiker. Please forgive my German. I know it's horrible. Anyway, it stands for like the classic. So it's the biggest game in Germany. So when you're talking about what's arguably I'd say the fourth hardest league in Europe, and this is their marquee match. So if there's any match for anybody to watch who's interested in the German league, it's this one. So you're talking millions of views, and millions of views just saw the advertisement for Zebec as well too. So this is going to be huge.
That is huge.
So in other words, if there was one match to pick for Germany, it was this one.
Nice.
I got a question. So, and this is for Zebec United. So, going off that, what you just said, what would that be compared to in American football? What two teams going against each other?
Ooh. Ooh.
Well, that's a great question.
I would say Patriots and Jets.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. So just so everybody can really look at it and say, okay, I get that. Wow, that's big.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tons of people. I mean, kind of the reason why they did is the limited edition Zebec Tandem wallet that is coming out. It should be like they said they were shipping, right? Does anyone have any more information on that?
I talked to Comeback Kid. Shout out Comeback Kid. He said his was on the way.
Oh,
So
nice.
should have the next day or two.
That's
he said.
nice.
I can't wait.
So
There
I'm
was
just
another
there.
email. There was another email that was saying wait until the middle of March. So I'm not sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
How many of you ordered those? The limited edition?
I think the better
All
question is
things
who in here
Zebec.
didn't order.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, who didn't order them?
Yeah.
Didn't get them.
so is it correct to say that when they're gone, they're gone? They're not gonna bring them
Oh
back?
yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay, because I did put that out. Okay, good.
Anyone else pretty excited about that tangible? I know I am. I'm super excited about it. I can't wait to get it. It's actually my first diving into a cold wallet. I've never owned a cold wallet. I'm on the exchanges, so this is big.
Just want to add in one more thing as well about this as well. It felt so great to actually see it there because I follow the sport like crazy. So I have friends who are Bayern Munich fans. I have friends who are Dortmund fans as well, and they always hear me talking about these cryptos and everything like that. And to see it that way, it's like, well, if it's good enough to advertise here, that should be telling you something.
Yeah.
True story. True story. So into some of the juicier stuff, right? There's been a lot going on as far as Zebec Network is concerned and all the partnerships. We already know about all that, all the compliance stuff last year. It really seems as if, though, lately the super focus for Zebec has been on the banking side, right? So we've got World Liberty there, where they're going to be handling payroll for 65,000 plus employees. Then we also had the Facet thing. Then we had the Lattice thing, and so much happening and so many connections. I'll tell you what, this past week, I feel like I've done more deep diving and looking into, like, whenever someone's trying to solve a mystery and they got the board up and they're connecting all this. I'm sure 314 has one of those. If he turns his camera around, I bet we see it.
No,
But
definitely, man.
so we're just gonna kind of talk about all this because there's so much there. And if you didn't think that ZBCN had utility, I think you're completely wrong. And so 314 and Heavy, I know Heavy, you know a lot about Lattice too, right?
Yeah, I took some notes here.
Yeah, man. Tell us more about Lattice, and then 314. Let's go into those deep dives you were talking about, and I'll just kind of piggyback off that.
All right. So we just did a partnership with Lattice, and they are a neobank in the Canton ecosystem. Another huge project there. So basically what's going on here is, do you want me to like break all this down for everybody so like they know what all this stuff does? All right. So obviously let's talk about Zebec for a second. So Zebec is a payment streaming and payroll protocol started on Solana. Now it runs across multiple chains, enabling second-by-second crypto and stablecoin payments instead of lump sum transfers. The stack includes Zebec cards, real-time payroll infrastructure, and a SuperApp. Supports 18 blockchains, 150 tokens. Lattice Finance is a neobank that's on the Canton network, and that's basically offering consumer banking style front end. So username based transfers, ACH debit, on off ramps, virtual physical MasterCard debit cards, and it's integrated with Apple Pay and Google Pay. So that's they I guess that's where Zebec comes in, that they're going to be providing the rails for them. And then Canton itself is permission institution focused blockchain used by major financial players and already processes around 6 trillion USD in a monthly volume for tokenized securities and related infrastructure.
Thanks to the DTCC, baby.
That's right. And that's where we're going to go from here.
Yeah. So go ahead.
Does anybody know how long Canton been around?
I want to say I heard 23. They haven't been around. They haven't been around that long. They just kind of swept on the scene, and I mean,
they swept on the scene. But if you look at who invested into Canton, there's a lot of enterprises, Goldman Sachs. You think about all these big investment banks. It wasn't by surprise. It was strictly strategic. It was just that the retail people inside of crypto just wasn't aware of Canton when they came on the scene. And all you have to do is ask yourself, when the DTCC is tokenizing assets, where would they want to do that? They would want to put it on a private blockchain so that they can test it out before they scale it. And Canton became that trusted network for all the enterprises. When you think about the DTCC, matter of fact, if you think about the conferences that we all went to with Cybos, and Nadine that was there, who of course is the leader or the spokesperson for the DTCC. Everyone's seen that photo with Simon, and the DTCC announced that they wanted to tokenize some of their assets, and they plan on tokenizing all of their assets just incrementally. And Canton Network started to become that blockchain that people wanted to use. So it's interesting and very nice to see that Zebec is in this ecosystem with all of these major players. When you think about the DTCC, they settle trillions of dollars daily. They have over $100 trillion of an assets overall that they plan on bringing on chain. So when you talk about this becoming a global movement, DTCC is first and foremost. So
that's right.
Quadrillion.
Quadrillions.
Yeah.
And, when you look at it like that, I look at DTCC and I look at them as a secret society almost. And it feels like somehow, somewhere back there, Zebec got indoctrinated. They got pulled within. And now that they're within, they're moving faster. And of course, it helps that they got all of their that they got all of their compliance and all of that up to snuff. But now it just feels different now. The token feels different.
All
think
these
the first-
partnerships. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
I think the first green flag was the Deutsche Bank partnership.
Huge.
That's when it really all began to pick up, I believe,
Yeah.
is that Deutsche Bank partnership.
For me personally, it was when Zebec cards integrated with Phoenix, the first meme coin from the XRP ledger onto Zebec. So that was just their first like partnership step with Ripple, and I thought that was like gigantic for me personally.
That is something that definitely me and ZBC and Man and a few guys have talked about. Zebec with these cards, they don't roll it out at scale first. They put it on these silver cards. They do these silver cards so that they can test it out and show these institutions how it truly works. And then they go into streaming payroll, and then they start to go into all these different aspects that they're really, really good at. So with this Canton partnership with Lattice, I'm very excited about being the first MasterCard debit card. You think about Canton, it doesn't have a card that people are using for all the assets that's on this, this platform. So I think this is going to be very, very, very bullish.
Huge.
Yeah.
And that's just the tip of the iceberg, right? So we've done so much more deep diving into this. And when you look at this and the connections between Canton, DTCC, Lattice, which is the first neobank to have a MasterCard, their first neobank, and the first bank on their network to get a MasterCard, then you look into it even more, and you can go all the way into, what was it, NatWest, which is the Bank of Scotland, and then the London Stock Exchange. And we know that Simon brought over a couple people from the London Stock Exchange last year, right?
Yep.
And his ties originally are with Wall Street. So like you can see it all happening. So yeah, I mean, tell us more about all this.
Yeah, no. So, man, it's a lot of connections. So when you think about the London Stock Exchange, Deutsche Bank is very heavy in the London Stock Exchange, and the name London should ring a bell to everybody. So when you think about Zebec Network, where is one of their prime locations? It's London. So last year, Simon was at the House of Lords. He was at the UK Reform. He was at these places, the Digital Assets Summit, and that was last year that was also in London. And these partnerships started to come about. When he's at these House of Lords, he's knowing that the regulatory framework is not 100% settled, but he's trying to get his foot forward to make sure that he's in the mix of everything. Which is actually, it's crazy when you think about it, because then you start getting into Davos, you start getting into Sibos, you start getting to all these big conferences that these same guys are at, and then these partnerships come about, and people are like, where did they come from? They were doing this behind the scenes. I'm very excited about the London Stock Exchange. For what people don't know about the London Stock Exchange is the London Stock Exchange is on Canton Network, and they just announced that they will be doing 24/7 settlement on the Canton Network in terms of all of their assets. And with 24/7 settlement, they need to be moving assets all day, Monday through Sunday. Doesn't matter, doesn't stop. And what's really cool about the London Stock Exchange is when you think about programmable money, Zebec is able to do that for essentially everybody. You have Deutsche Bank, which is all Unity, the Euro stable coin that they use for payroll. And you think about their compliance. So first and foremost, their compliance is you have the MiCA compliance, you have the SOC 2, you have the ISO 20022, and then what's going to come soon is the FCA compliance. And the FCA compliance is going to allow them to start moving money in the UK. And with that, we're just going to be a monster, man.
Game over.
It's going to be game over.
Oh yeah.
It goes like Genghis Khan. I did a video on Zebec a little while, probably last year. It was about Genghis Khan. I like studying a lot of the old emperors and different things. And what he did is he went out and he recruited. He pulled everybody in the fray. And I remember thinking when I saw Zebec putting out these cards constantly, it's like every time I looked around, I was like, they done partnered with another person? Who is this? I didn't even know some of the people that they were partnering with, but I knew it was a reason for it.
Yeah.
And now it's hindsight is 2020 because you look back life is better understood backwards, right? You look
Mhm.
back and some of the things you wish, if you knew back then, you'd have did a little bit different. But now coming up to where we are right now with everything that's going on and where they are, is if people can't see this as an opportunity, they're really going to regret this moment. They're
Mhm.
going to truly regret this moment because this is one of those rare occasions I feel where it's playing out right in front of us. The whole wealth transfer, all of that's happening right in front of us. We see an old system dying. I did a video on Zebec with Netflix. If you look at Netflix, when Netflix came out, Blockbuster, they still didn't think it was going to be anything, but Netflix had looked ahead. They saw that the times were changing. Everything was changing. We're going into streaming now. People don't want to leave the home. People want to be on the cell phones. And before you know it, the brick and mortar went away. That's the same thing that's happening with Zebec, and it's the same thing that is happening with finance and streaming is pay. So these are the things that I wish people understood about Zebec. And when you guys connect the dots like you're already doing and putting it all together, I don't see how people just can't understand.
Absolutely not. And kind of going back, Patriot, I know you can speak on this. You started a business, and you can see what Zebec is doing is like in its infancy of like how a business starts, right? To be successful long term.
Yeah. Well, they're moving with a sense of purpose, right? I mean, like I said, when a company first comes onto the scene, you typically don't bring on this many initiatives. You typically don't, because that only increases your liability. So typically you have 2 or 3 initiatives and you go after them to mitigate your risks, right? But they've come on with a sense of purpose. Like Mr. Foresight said, it's like they're part of the club. They know why they are here. They've been given their purpose and they're just knocking the pins down. That's why they can come out confidently and basically tell the public, hey, this is what our plan is. Also accomplish it in the time frame, because it's almost like they are chosen to tie up those loose ends in the system so that this thing can go live. Because in order for it to go live, there's a lot of other great projects out there that do a lot of great things. But now we got to get down into the weeds to how are people going to spend that money and how is it going to get to them and, be utilized. So sense of purpose.
Yeah,
Man,
and
it goes into our institutional backers who we're surrounded by, who's
Yeah.
helping push us forward. Again, you go back to Circle Ventures, Solana Ventures, Coinbase Ventures, Gemini, the Winklevosses. You start talking about all of these people who have invested into top companies that we know today, and you think the Zebec is not going to be one of those companies that they push forward? I don't know anybody who's investing into anything or partner with anybody and don't want to see them succeed.
Yeah. Facts.
So
and
true.
kind of going back to go ahead, Patriot. You gonna say something there?
No, I'm just going to say so true, man. It's amazing.
Well, going back a little bit before we move forward, one of the things you touched on there was the institution thing, right? Getting ready for that. And part of that readiness is the super app that just launched on desktop this past week. And Heavy, you've seen that super app, the desktop version. I know we're all excited about that mobile version that's coming out in sometime it's going to be after the unlock, I would assume. But that desktop version where these enterprises get in there and they start actually using it, ready, set, go, right? So what are your thoughts on that super app, and like as far as the impact on institutions using it?
I think that it's going to be good for the institutions, so you can see how all that stuff is actually working real time, and then I think that's going to make them make their choice a lot easier to decide to carry that service or not. So it's important to see how it all works. For them to see how it all works, and I mean that.
I mean, on top of that too, if you look at what other companies are doing this other than Zebec Network, who else is doing it? And it's much bigger than payroll. We were talking about this. We were talking about this last night, me and Mr. Foresight, when we were talking. It's more than just payroll. This is streaming payments. It's everything. Going back to what 314 was saying, 24/7 assets moving.
Oh yeah, no, it's never been
Continuous.
done before. It's never been done before where you can include everybody down to meme coins and then being able to use their meme coins to buy real world things. Go into a grocery store. You have real utility case for everybody. Payroll. So going down to the super app in the roadmap, what I thought was interesting is it said retail desktop launch. So I don't know if that means if it was just for like small companies and they just kind of wanted to, of course, test it out on a smaller scale. Hence, like I mentioned before, the silver cards before they go at a scale, they kind of want to test everything out. And then you go down, of course, the line, and then they say the enterprise rollout. Wow.
There you go. And yes, we were talking about that too. There's no doubt there's an enterprise version of this super app as well, with more security and things like that for these larger institutions that are going to be buying ZBCN.
And from everything I've seen, it's easy to use. It's easy to use. If people don't know how to use it and it's complicated, they're not going to use it. But I went in and I played with it. I even staked and did all of that stuff. And it was pretty easy. It was pretty straightforward. And I was surprised actually too. They didn't have really no hiccups with the rollout like I expected them to have. I ran into one in the beginning, but other than that, I didn't run into any hiccups. I was able to stake finally on there as well. So I feel like other like retail and all of them are going to be able to do the same thing.
Yeah, I was able to stake as well using my Tangent wallet. So I know some people were saying that there may have been issues with that, and I did it from a cold wallet with no problems. The only thing there is just you have to sign with your card maybe 2 or 3 times, but aside from that, it was no problem at all.
You did it from a cold wallet?
Yes, I did.
I didn't even see that option. I didn't even see the option on there.
Yeah, so when you go in there to connect your wallet, I think you have to select Wallet Connect, and then
Yeah.
from there you would select whichever. In my case, it was Tangem, and
Okay.
so I just connected that way, and then I was good to go from there.
Nice. Nice.
So when you
Yeah.
when you deposit, you gotta scan your Tangem card when you deposit into your vault, and then you gotta scan it again once you want to stake, and then that's
And you
about
gotta
it.
have Solana in your wallet as well.
Yep.
Yes, I forgot to mention that. So I had about $20 in Solana just to cover fees,
Yeah.
and then good to go.
Yep.
I'm staking weekly, and so I'm doing a strategy that's called laddering. So basically, I take 126 in my bag, and every week for 6 months, I will stake 126 in my bag. And so come 6 months from now, every week I'm gonna get an unlock, and so this will cover me in case the price shoots up, so at least I can lock in some profits as well.
I like
That's
it.
smart.
We got a paycheck every month,
Every week.
every week.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just staking my bag and then I'm DCAing every day. That's basically it.
I could smell the money coming off of this screen right now. Just the bags.
There's a lot.
smell it.
There's a lot.
Smell it coming off the screen, man. I ain't saying I ain't in y'all pockets, but I can smell it.
There's a lot. You know what? This is a great segue when we talk about money, and we're going to get back to some more juicy stuff because we got some even juicier stuff that we think is coming down the road. And I don't, Devin, you've wanted to talk about this, and anyone else could talk about this as well, because this is really important when it comes to security and like when it comes to making sure that you're not taken advantage of one day with your crypto.
Yes, and so this is one thing that I want to harp on a lot because with this, there's a saying, more money, more problems. So you want to sit back and you want to do everything you can to protect yourself. So it's making sure you're not clicking on the wrong links. If you have cold storage wallets, you're making sure that you store them properly. If you have to, making sure it's in safety deposit boxes, making sure it's what not to. And the biggest thing of all is when you're coming into this wealth like this, don't go around bragging about it. Keep your mouth shut. Because all these people here, there's people out there that are watching and they're waiting. And don't make yourself an easy target.
I agree. And you know what's crazy? And this goes out to all of us, considering we're pioneers, we're in crypto, we're in this early. There's going to come a point when Zebec and all of this is going through the roof. And it's just going to be unavoidable. People are going to know those guys on that podcast They got wealthy off of it. I know they playing it. I know they downplaying it, but they got wealthy off of it. So you do have to keep a low profile. And I think the hardest thing, and I always tell people this too, it's important to know what you're going to do with the money before you get it. It's why people who win the lottery go broke. They never expected to come into that kind of money. And then, like you said, Zebec United, more money, more problems. Then you got people coming along, all the family members, and all of them trying to borrow money. You got everybody got their hand out, and you end up going broke. And that's where I believe you really have to be careful and have a plan, a solid plan in place.
And that is why communities like this matter so much, because we are looking out not only for ourselves, but we're looking out for everybody else. I'm super excited for people to watch this, because you are looking at individuals who care more than just themselves. They really want to spread knowledge and make sure that everybody's well prepped for what's to come.
I want to spread some knowledge on y'all Zebec Discord too. And I don't believe I've said this, but you guys teach taxes as well, crypto tax on your Discord. And I think that is super important. That is super important for people to get in there and learn a little bit about that.
Yes.
Because don't end up breaking big rocks to little rocks because you want to save $1.
Yeah. Yeah. One thing I want to tell people is this is going to be very transformative. So if you have plans to say, hey, I'm going to sell all my crypto, well, Web3 is not going anywhere. This is going to be the new system. So there are DeFi protocols. If you want to collateralize, your assets, or if you want to do things without, deeming the taxes, capital gains tax or anything. So there are going to be several things that you could do to preserve your wealth and invest it into other things. So super happy.
Yeah. Does anyone have any thoughts on that? Like, do we know much about the capital gains tax and where that's going to go? Is there going to be zero tax on US based crypto companies or what?
That's the plan.
I that's what we're hearing, and we don't know if it's true or not, but I'm not a CPA by any means, but the best advice I can give is learn the difference between short-term capital gains and long-term capital gains. And the too long didn't read version of it is, if you hold your crypto for over a year, the amount of taxes that you pay is significantly less. And it could actually be almost half if you hold it for over a year at the highest tax rate.
How does it work? Go ahead, Patriot. Were you going to say something?
Just say you won't have to worry about it. There won't be taxes on U.S. crypto. I'm
Let's
not going to
go.
get into the theory. I'm
Yeah,
not.
I agree.
I'll leave it at that. But just remember, holler at your boy. No taxes.
Yeah.
I'll let you boy.
Until that time comes, all I will say is the highest tax bracket for short-term capital gains is 37%, and the highest tax bracket for long terms, for the time being, is 20%.
Thank you,
Wow.
Devin.
Do with that information as you please.
Now, is Arizona one of those tax-free zones when it comes to crypto? Is that true?
That may be just for state
it's-
tax, not for federal.
Yeah, that, and I believe
I heard they was trying to do that.
Oklahoma or something.
I know
was one of
Missouri
them
has
too.
no capital gains tax.
But all we can do for now is hope that our president fulfills his promise and makes us the crypto capital of the world. And the zero capital
right.
gains on US-based cryptos would be a great step in doing that.
Oh, yeah.
I think people forget too that Zebec is an American company.
Mhm.
That's what I was getting. That's what I was getting to.
Yeah.
You can't be the crypto capital of the world when there's no taxes in other countries, and then you have
Correct.
taxes here. So think about
Correct.
it. It's there. Just remember the American system's much larger than some of these other countries, so it takes a little longer to get there, but we're going to get there.
Yeah. I mean, you just look at what they're doing now, setting up this system with all these neo banks, kind of getting back to what we were talking about before. Been doing some research, and I put it out there on X because I fully believe this, but everyone keeps talking about this Ripple and Zebec network partnership, and it's looking more and more like it's going to be that Ripple National Bank and Trust. it's game over for sure. I mean, it already is, but if you get Zebec Network partnering with Ripple's bank, and that's the bank that's going to handle all of the other banks in this new financial system that we're talking about, that's massive. And 314, you've been doing a little bit more research on that too, right?
Yeah, no, massive. XRP Ripple is a conglomerate. When you think about it, they could be the World Bank. Well over 300 institutions, and with RippleNet, is inside of all that liquidity that they have. And if Zebec can tap that liquidity and distribute it, whether if it's payroll, payouts, cards, that's huge. I don't know if anybody noticed, but in December, whenever Ripple had got their conditional charter license, they also announced during Solana Breakpoint that they were putting wrapped XRP on Solana, which is huge, which I don't believe people are really understanding what that looks like and what that means. You're using XRP's liquidity, moving it over to Solana, and now you're able to use a backed XRP on Solana at Solana speed. So why did they do that? Solana is one of the cheapest to settle. It's one of the fastest to settle, and it can handle the most transactions almost out of every blockchain. So it's the perfect place for XRP, given all that liquidity, to go inside of Solana's ecosystem and make it move. And Zebec, being the only crypto payroll company in the Nacho Alliance, can do things that no one's able to do, as well as the continuous settlement. So streaming payments is going to happen, given that they get their full license and become the global bank that we initially think that they will be.
Yep. And it's going to happen.
And not just that, let's just put it all together. Who is speaking at the XRP conference?
Yep.
They've been brought into the fold. They've been brought in. And it's right there. I mean, we don't have anything in writing, but it's there. Just look at it. Look at the people. Look at the people who are together. Nah.
Lightspeed connection between Ripple. Ripple and Zebec through the Lightspeed connection. Lightspeed is really big into Solana. If you know Nikita Beer is the product for X. He does everything with X as far as how everything lays out and everything. It's more strategic than what people think. And Zebec reminds me of what's called the Interledger.
Yep, the Interledger. Yep. That's what we've been saying. That's that partnership, and that Interledger is going to work with the new Ripple Bank, National Bank and Trust. Correct? Correct.
I have a question for y'all. Do you think an XRP Zebec announcement would move the price like it did last year?
I believe so.
An announcement. Even right now, with the current climate.
Yeah.
I think it will, but I don't know if we'll see the gains that we saw last year.
Right.
I think this is one of the biggest partnerships that you can get out of any two companies. I think it's like Kobe and Shaq. When you think about what they're able to do. When it comes down to price, I do believe that once you get a lot of the influencers that are on XRP who holds, huge bags, they'll try to diversify a little bit. Now, granted, people don't want to step away from the XRP bags, but if they know that they can get two on the come up,
I think some of these these XRP, these big bag holders, a lot of these influencers, I don't think they will publicly say that they've let some of their bag go, because a lot of their subscribers want that content. They want that XRP content. And we all know that the community, when it comes to XRP, all you got to do is say you sold your bag. and they're coming out with torches. No. I believe a lot of the major influencers, though, I believe some of them are holding ZBCN.
Oh, well, I can tell you this as being a guy who gets a ton of inbox I get a lot of DMs, and I will tell you this: there are some very prominent XRP people that are on X, that are on TikTok, and that are also on YouTube that have wanted to collab, and they're kind of afraid to because of that reason. and I would never say who they are, but I can tell you this because I've had conversations and said, "Hey, why don't you guys bring up, do some ZBCN content?" And they're like, I can't do that because I have to focus on XRP." And that's no knock on them. It's just that they're so far into it that it's tough. Like when you hold bags like that, man, and I mean, we're starting to be in the same boat in some ways, but
Well, it's kind of tough. It's kind of tough though because our whole thing is now Ripple, of course, is going to be interoperable with having all the banks and everything on board. But our approach is really very inclusive when we talk about us not being an L1. Our approach is not to compete with anybody. We are plugging in our rails and boosting up everyone else's. So that it's a different approach. Whereas Ripple, of course, they were competing against the Bitcoin Maximus as far as who had the utility. So yes, you can definitely say that they're a little bit too far gone at this point.
I'm going to predict in April. I think a certain percentage are going to change their mind, and we'll probably actually get them on the show. Once it shows that we're not an actual threat to the XRP maxi community,
But
I
feel like
think we'll get
too,
people on.
it's kind of sad too because we're the only, and I ain't gonna say we because we don't think like that, but the retail side, the retailers out here holding these bags, we're the only ones that put these juggernauts against each other. They're collaborating. You see, Zebec is collaborating with all of the big companies, XRP, all of them. It's the retailers, the ones down here that are putting them against each other. Well, Bitcoin ain't better than XRP, and Zebec is never going to partner with XRP. They're never going to partner with XRP. So I think that's sad. We can't get out our own way.
Yeah, tribalism is what it is.
Tribalism. There you go.
That article right there from January 26th, 2026, there, Ripple nears banking license. I mean, it's a foregone conclusion at this point that they're get that, it's there, man.
They fought through so much for so many blockchains to come to fruition in this space right now, and Zebec's included. Zebec's whole approach was compliance first. They saw exactly what Ripple had to go through, coming up. So that kind of eliminates a little extra pressure as far as us being deemed as a security and, not being able to do what we do. So no, hats off to those guys. They're battle tested. They're the only crypto right now that has clarity. So if clarity doesn't pass, XRP is going to be one to benefit.
And they did it fast too. Look how fast Zebec got all of these compliances done.
Yeah, definitely.
I've never seen one move that fast. I've never seen that happen like that. So you tell me they're not in the fold. They
Not
are
only
in the
was it their,
fold.
yeah, they're not even their backers, they're founders. I mean, they're advisors who they have on the board. It tells you everything right there. You have people from ADP, you have people from so many backgrounds is giving just really good gems. Who is it? Tom Lutz, one of the guys who had a huge banking background with payroll, talking to Simon on the Future of Money series, which is phenomenal, by the way, for people who want to understand Zebec and the people that they're talking to. They're having these real life conversations about how they can transform the space. And these people, they're all on board.
And what people miss is those people that you're talking about, they have reputations. They have big reputations. They're not going to put their like one of those guys, I think it was Tom Lutz. He's been doing this, I think I'm correct on this, since the 70s. You really think he's going to put his reputation on the line for that? For something that he don't believe in? No. It's a no-brainer.
They know where it's going, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be it's gonna be phenomenal. These next couple years are gonna be something that are gonna go down in history as far as the transfer of wealth that's gonna go
Oh yeah,
one side to the other. There's no doubt in my mind.
They're going to look
And
back
then
and they're going to be like, "That's right there. That's when it happened. That's when."
well,
the
I think
flip
what
happened."
really kicked this off is these white label products for the ecosystem. So if you look at the SuperApp roadmap, all the way at the end, it says continuous. So yes, it shows photos of Stellar and shows photos of XRP, but they know there's going to be so many other projects that's going to want to be able to use Zebec, World Liberty Financial, and what they got going on for their white label
That was
products.
groundbreaking.
I think the ecosystem is going to look completely different than what we could ever imagine in a year or two from now. Unrecognizable.
Oh, yeah. It's all changing. You look at the stock market alone, it's going 24/7.
Mhm.
That alone is a huge difference. Tokenizing everything, it's huge.
When
And
you
it's
got
crazy
Elon
because
talking about getting into crypto, you know it's real.
I got people who now I try to convince to get in crypto, and their whole reason for not getting in crypto, they love stocks, is because crypto trades 24/7. And I'm like, you don't even know what's coming for you guys.
Mhm.
We tokenizing everything, baby. I'm
Yeah.
tokenizing my cup. I'm tokenizing everything. Yeah.
Hey, and you know what? One more big thing though. I look at President Trump and how deep he's into crypto. Just looking at that alone, you have to look at the human behavior of self-interest. Do you really think crypto is going to fail with him being involved like he is? 3 point some billion they've made.
Ooh.
Crypto? Come on, man.
I told my wife, if he said that he's going to make this the crypto capital of the world, his legacy is on the line here, and he's a person who loves to leave a legacy. He
It
will leave
is.
a legacy, and he will be the person that makes this the crypto capital of the world. Absolutely.
Amen. Amen,
He
brother.
doesn't say anything he doesn't mean literally, and that he's going to accomplish it. That's
And like
without a doubt.
I said, World Liberty Financial and just Trump in general, he has the best of the best. He worked with the best of the best. Guess who he chose for his payroll partner within the crypto space? The Zebec Network. That should tell you something. That World Liberty Forum, jeez, everybody was there. Talk to somebody else about that.
But people need to separate their personal feelings about him from that. You got to separate that. Else you'll miss this whole opportunity.
Yeah.
Yep.
In the end, it's all about what we can do to better our lives and then the people around us, our ecosystems. It's all about that. And so you can't let personal feelings about a person decide your ability to take care of your tribe. No, never that. So we got to remember that why we are in this is to take care of our ecosystems. That's why we're here.
100.
Well said.
Yeah.
Well,
So this is the part of the show that we do. We do it better than anyone else. I will say that. And we're the only ones doing it, actually. So what we like to do each week is we like to do a community spotlight. And this week we chose one of our hosts this week, Mr. Foresight, as that community spotlight because of all the things he does to bring so much knowledge and empowerment into people in the crypto community as a whole. And so thank you so much. You are so amazing, man, in everything you do, and we truly appreciate you. And so, like, what we like to do is we go around and everyone kind of just asks a question. And so I'll start off, and my question is what got you into crypto originally?
What got me into crypto, I was in the stocks, and one of my coworkers, and I told you this story, he is a millionaire now and off of Bitcoin. And he tried to get me into Bitcoin. And long story short, he was subscribed to this newsletter that he paid $10,000 a year subscription fee for. And he told me, based on things he was hearing, Bitcoin was going to go to $20,000. Well, at that time, when he told me about Bitcoin, it was 300. He said, you need to get this. I know I've been telling you stocks, but you need to get some Bitcoin. I was like, what is it? And he was like, I can't really explain it to you. It's a digital dollar. Just go look it up. So he told me about Binance. This is back when Binance was really one of those only places you could get crypto. And I don't know about you guys, but when I first into crypto, I went on to Binance and I was like, how the hell do you work this? So I backed out and I didn't do my own research on Bitcoin. And I remember at the time he told me that, he had over 100 and something Bitcoin. And that was before. It was at $300. And I often think back on that. And from there, I got into NFTs with my brother-in-law. I got scammed a bunch, didn't make the money. He was flipping NFTs. I shouldn't even messed with it. But from there, that was my welcome to crypto moment. And I didn't let my my failures in getting scammed and all of that and failing to do my own research, I licked my wounds and I came back and I said, I'm gonna get this right. So that's how that was my welcome to crypto. And that was during COVID. I want to say it was during COVID. Yeah.
It's amazing.
Actually before COVID. That's how I got in.
So the question I like to ask a lot is, what advice would you give to anybody who is brand new to crypto?
Oh, I'll tell them, this is just me because I'm big in marketing. I'll tell them, get my book, Overcoming Self for Crypto Wealth. and reason being, I would tell them though, and
hold that up one more time so everybody can see it again real quick.
You can get it on growrichgrowhappy.com, Overcoming Self for Crypto Wealth. And if you buy the paperback version, it actually comes with the paperback version, only the paperback version, it'll come with a crypto exit strategy that'll do a lot of the things that Zebec United was talking about as far as the taxes, and it'll calculate and do all of that for people. So that will come with this for free. And I would tell them not only that, get blue chips. That's important. Make sure you get some blue chips. But I believe more than anything, you need to overcome yourself that's why the book is called Overcoming Yourself for Crypto Wealth, because we out here dropping some major information. This has been a great podcast, but it's a lot of people is going to get it and they're not going to know what to do with it.
Mm-hmm.
I made a lot of mistakes. I sold during that last crypto run we had, the last bull run. I remember seeing my wallets was up like in the 6 figures, and I sat on it because I was like, if it can hit 6 figures, it can hit $1 million. and I didn't understand what I was doing. So I say you need to understand that. You need to know what to hold, know how to research it, follow authentic people. Like if you're hearing a lot about Zebec, follow the authentic people, follow a channel like this, but you have to also have a plan. Have a plan. First, get out of debt. How are you going to get out of debt? How much money do you need? How much money can you spare? Cut down on some of your expenses rather than go out and doing a lot of partying or buying a bunch of stuff. And I'll tell you about that, without buying a bunch of shoes and a bunch of things like that. Maybe put some extra into crypto and know when to take your money. Take your profits. That's the biggest thing I can tell any newcomer. Take your profits. Don't sit in dreamland thinking that, I'm just going to wait. I'm wait till you hit $1 million. Take your profit.
Somebody else is going to take your profits.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So, how did you hear about Zebec, and why did you choose Zebec to buy?
Me and ZBCN man was talking about this. I really think somebody mentioned it in a post of mine. And I get a lot of mentions of different cryptos, but I went and I looked it up. And I remember the first thing I seen, I was looking at the white paper and I seen what they were trying to do. And I thought about something. I thought about this Wendy's not far from me, that they're having such a bad problem hiring people. They have a sign up that says pay the same day. And I remember I told my wife, how the hell are they managing? Are they paying them out the counter? I mean, under the table? But it's like desperate times. And I was like, okay, so you got a crypto now that's doing this. So it piqued my interest. And the more I started going down that rabbit hole and started seeing their connections, that Coinbase whole ventures thing, that was one. I looked at it and I didn't bag the truck up to it yet. I bought a little bit. And then I just kept watching it. And the more stuff came out, it was one of those things where, you look at the top 100 and you see where Zebec they fall out of it. And then you see, well, this is, first I was like, it's not a meme coin. That was important too. It's not a meme coin because I was looking at how many tokens they had. Of course, they had some deflationary stuff within, but nothing really to put a really big dent in. They had some unlocks and stuff that was coming up. But for me, it was the streaming of payments 24/7. I felt like that was the next wave. That was something that no one was doing.
I got a question for you. have nothing to do with the fruitless deeds of darkness, but rather expose them. Ephesians 5:11.
Yep. Yep.
I see it all over your page, and I just just tell me what that all really means to you. It's deep, and I can appreciate it, but just want to hear.
Well, me and ZBCN man was talking about this, and I know you guys know you're going to be able to understand this. When it comes to cryptocurrency, there's a lot of toxic stuff out there. It's a lot of toxic people. I guard my circle. I guard my spirit. You know, words are spirits. And I see things that happen that are spiritual, that happen online. You can see it in comments. You can see it in things like that. It's why I pull back. But, and I'm not going to call no names, but I've had contact with certain projects that had an element of darkness to them that I can't compromise myself for. So I'm big on, I would never sell my soul for riches and different things, especially if I detect something that just don't set right with me. So I'm really big on that and just having discernment. So I don't like to associate with anything that has anything to do with darkness. I believe I have to keep my energy just really clean, which is how you guys got me on this show.
Love that.
So that's really big to me. And it's I almost put it up. You know, you have a beware of dog sign. It's there for those type of people.
Yeah.
All over. My question would be, are you comfortable answering like a timeline of what you would predict the prices would be for ZBCN from now to 2035?
35?
Yeah.
2035?
Yeah, 10 years
Hell.
or 9 years, 10 years. Just in your opinion, what you think would happen, best case scenario.
That's a good question. You know why that's a good question? Because, you know, I look at it and the only thing I could really compare it to is something like an XRP. But the difference between it and XRP is the climate has changed. So now that the climate has changed, you see when XRP took off like that, you got to admit, they was up against a lot of stuff and they took off. But now that the climate has changed, you look at the legislation that we got, you got the crypto president, you got all of this going. Seriously? 35? Where we at now, 26? You hurt my head with that. I'm thinking like, you hurt my head with that. No, I wish you'd have said just like a year.
No, bro. Expect the unexpected on this podcast, bro.
I'm going,
He'll be retired. He's hoping.
okay. Let's put it this way. I'm gonna give you a good one. You know, people are always saying XRP to $1,000, XRP to $100. I believe you have the best chance of Zebec hitting those kind of numbers before that, considering the things that are going on with the token.
I agree.
So
Thank you so much.
By then, I'm looking at really big numbers, those kind of XRP numbers that people always say that XRP is going to get to. And that's not a knock at XRP or anything.
Amen, brother. Amen.
Yeah, perfect. Thank you so much.
All right, Mr. Foresight, man, I got to ask you, man, how'd you get into, you know, the podcasting and, you know, describing all the cryptos and stuff. And I guess want to follow that up with what made you get into writing the book?
I'll tell you, it's everything that I do is based on my life. Everything that I do is based on my life. So when it originally started, I didn't plan on, I like crypto. I love crypto. And this is what I would be doing, even if I wasn't talking about it. I would be studying crypto. But I got to a point, it's the reason I walked away from my last career is because I got to a point I said, when I die, I want to leave something behind to help people. That's my whole mission now. I want to help that person out there, that those crypto people. It ain't even just crypto. It might be somebody that's trying to change their life and trying to work on themselves. They're trying to reach goals that they don't even know that they have. They don't even know that they have them. But some of that person we're talking about might be somebody that's in their 60s, their 70s. They think it's too late. You know, they might have worked themselves to death. And I found to me that crypto was the best vehicle to get you there, regardless of you 8 to 80. It doesn't matter how old you are. If you can spare some money, it's not going to take you as much money to get financial freedom as it's going to cost someone in stocks. And when I said that, and my whole life has been a book, and just to let you guys know, I used to write erotic fiction. A lot of people don't know that. So, but that was one of the things I did. And I said, when I branched off from that, I said, I want to give something back positive. So I want to give it back to them in a way that I can talk straight to this person. That's why I came up with Overcoming Self for Crypto Wealth, because I understood you can give people all the information in the world, but if they're battling their self, they're battling their inner demons, they're not going to be able to hold the blessings that they got coming to them. So that's why I said I want to give them something that they can take and actually change generations. But while doing that, they can prepare for that door that God hasn't opened yet by working on themselves first.
Awesome, man. We appreciate you, brother. Everything you do for the ZBCN community and crypto.
I appreciate you guys.
I got a question for you. When you go into a family function, what's kind of like the dynamic? What's the dynamic like now, of course, that you have this huge influence on YouTube and in the crypto space?
Don't nobody talk about it.
Really?
Yeah, don't nobody talk about it. It's a weird energy. It's a weird energy. It is a weird energy. And I believe what a lot of that comes from, guys, I believe that sometimes, and you guys are going to experience this, sometimes in your life when you're starting to elevate, the distance starts creating because people are so used to the person they used to know.
Mm-hmm.
They can't let that person go. That's the person they can't let go. And if you're going in the direction that people don't feel like they can come with you, a lot of times they rather just not say anything. And, that's why I say sometimes you have to let your success speak for itself. And like you guys were saying earlier, when you do make it and you get what you're going to get, just keep it quiet, because that's when you're going to see the change in people. You're going to see all of that. Everybody's going to change. You have more friends. You're going to have all of that. Everybody's going to come to you for advice. This is why I make it a point in my videos to say that it's going to come a time when all of this go up, y'all phone's going to be ringing off the hook. 314, especially you. They're going to be, hey, what do I buy? What do I buy? It's too late. And I said, I'm not going to lie to people. I'm telling them. I'm going to make sure I tell them. Like, you can chase it, but the real money to be made was back here. And I'm not going to feel bad because everybody knows what I do. And all it takes is a question. I don't mind sharing.
Yeah. It's not like we haven't been telling them, right?
Right. So if you can't come and just ask a question, then I don't know what to say. So yeah, it's a different vibe. And my family, my mom and them, they always gonna think crypto is a scam. They're from the old school. Crypto is scammy. Oh no. They love reading something about somebody that got scammed. I get the first call. Hey, you need to be careful. Why are y'all telling me this?
Yeah.
You guys know. You guys
Mhm.
know.
Oh man, amazing stories. I want to follow up. I actually want to know this as you were talking there, because you brought up that you used to write erotic fiction, right? So your journey to where you are now, to being a godly man, obviously came from some darker places. So tell me
Yeah.
more about that part, because I'm interested in knowing that part. What was the deciding factor of you letting that go, your old self?
Oh, I tell you what it was. It's one of those things where when you've tried everything, and this is a message for everybody. If you've tried everything in your everything you could to make it to that next point and you can't, it comes a point when you have to take responsibility and say, why is God forcing me to repeat this class? Now, and then me and you had this talk last night. Everybody on this podcast right now know something that they need to let go of. Something. It's something for everybody. You don't even have to say it. But I made it a point to myself to give up certain things each year to better myself because I don't want that door to close. I do not want that door to close this time. I want him to say, your ass is finally ready. So I've been through a lot of dark times. I tell people I've been through evictions. I've been through car repossessions. I've been through all of that. And this is why I'm so big now on ownership.
Mm-hmm.
Being able to sit there. I watched them come take a car from me one time because I've had two that was taken. They watched me. I watched them, the repo man, come take the car, and I looked out the window, and it was just like, all right. And no, so I'm so big on ownership now so that don't happen. But all of that was my fault. I'm not blaming nobody. All of that was my fault. Everything. So, and I found that when I was writing a lot of that stuff I was writing, I felt like I was good at it. I was really good at it, but I felt like I just didn't feel like I had the blessing like I should have had. I didn't feel like I had the blessing for it. And I kept saying, this ain't it. This ain't it. And I went further actually by doing the other thing. So I realized I had to change. And I tell anybody that if you're struggling in any area of your life, do a self introspection and say, what am I doing to screw this up? What is it?
Yeah. I mean, so many people continuously miss their blessings by holding on to old things. I can definitely attest to that. And you see it in your families growing up. And I'm sure everyone here has a story, right?
Yeah.
It's like accepting negativity and you miss your blessings. Does anyone else have any follow-up questions?
That holds us back.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Throbbing the one made my head hurt. I was going to say. I was going to ask him if he had a question, but he's the one that really put me on the spot.
I'm sorry.
What were you saying, Patriot?
I was just going to say it's always ego that holds us back. We think that, we always have the answers and we have the plan and we just don't focus inward. We're focused on the world and trying to have things and think we have all the answers to things. And it's just, you get to a point where you have to do self-awareness and reflection. You let the ego go and then the facade goes. Cause I always say the ego is the internal and the facade's the external. Right. And, you let it go and you give it to God and he has the plan. He knows the plans for your life. And then things just start to change. You transform your mind and that transforms your heart and things just start to change, man. And I appreciate you sharing that story. It's, I love it, man. I know I could see where you came from and it's, a lot of people I think will appreciate you sharing that.
I tell you, one more. I think, I'm spiritual. I'm an extremely spiritual person. And I learned that you have to learn how to hear God. You have to learn how to listen. The biggest lesson I had to learn is you can't do everything by yourself. I was raised the only child, and then I found out that I had two sisters. I didn't even know who my father was till I was 30, and I never got to meet him. I did when I was little, but so being an only child growing up like I did, not having that role model there, you tend to say, I can do everything on my own. I can do everything. And the hardest lesson for me to learn is you can't. You can't do everything on your own. And people are going to disappoint you. Let's just put it that way. People are going to disappoint you. But the more people that disappoint you, the better you get at realizing who you should let in. And you can see the signs earlier. So I say that to say, I let you guys in and you guys rock.
Man, you rock.
Appreciate you, brother.
Yeah,
We
man.
appreciate you
Appreciate
being
you,
here,
brother,
man.
man.
We
Hell
truly
yeah.
do appreciate you being here.
Legend, man. Legend.
Total. And
Appreciate you guys. I really do. I appreciate you guys. You guys are doing an amazing thing. This is
thank you for
amazing.
sharing your stories with us and being a part of this Zebec Nation, because you're a part of us. We're all one. And you had a little thing you told me that you wanted to
Oh, yeah.
give us 2 of your books to give away to a subscriber, right? And so what we want to do is we want to give back to the community. Well, all we ask is Mr. Foresight's been so gracious to give us a couple copies of his book, Overcoming Self to
Crypto Wealth.
Wealth.
Thank you.
And we're going to give those away. But here's the prerequisites. You've got to be a subscriber to the channel. You're going to have to comment on this video, share this video. And when you share this video, you're going to @ Mr. Foresight's handle on X, and you're going to @ Zebec Nation. And then once everyone does this, we'll give it we'll give it a week, you think? I think a week's good. After a week, we will choose 2 winners, and those 2 winners will get a copy of his amazing book. And I think it'll be a blessing to anyone who reads it. Go ahead, Mr.
And it's also gonna come with the exit strategy.
With the exit strategy. You heard it from him.
Man.
So
Limited edition.
incredible. And I'm going to be sending. So it's great how this crypto community works, because I received some coffee from Something Too Fierce from Lindsay, Coastal Coffee Company. Lindsay, hopefully you'll be watching this episode, and I'm actually going to gift Mr. Foresight, his wife, a bag of your beans. So thank you so much. You can see how great this crypto community is working together, and we're always trying to help one another out and give. Thank you all for joining us. Really appreciate everyone being here, from Patriot to Zebec United to Throbbing Lantern, Mr. Foresight, Samurai as well, 314, and Zebec Heavy Hitter. Thank you so much. And until next time, Zebec Nation out.
Out. Let's go.
Guys, rock.
Turn it up. Zebec Nation.
Zebec Nation, tap in, lock in.